mechanics and all that stuff, but E.M. Bound says what the church needs is not better mechanics, but better men. What we need is not, in other words, we need men and women of God who are made better because they're in the presence of God. To be like Wesley, John Wesley, who said, I want the Lord to set me on fire and let folk come and watch me burn. If you are really on fire for the Lord, if your soul has been sanctified, if you are burning but not yet consumed, folk will travel miles and miles to come and watch you burn. And you ain't got to sell a car, you ain't got to give up gas cards. All you got to do is let the Holy Ghost set you on fire. If the Lord sets you on fire, folks will come and watch you burn. I don't care if you build your church on the freeway or the backwoods. They'll come to hear somebody who's anointed of the Holy Ghost. The problem with us today is that we've been chasing gimmicks but not God. We want smoke screens but not the cloud of His glory. But in order to get the cloud of His glory, it's going to cost us something. It's going to cost us a meal. It's going to cost us some time. You got to budget time to be in His presence. These shortcuts not working, y'all. I'm going to say this last thing and then I'm really, this is my second close. Praise the Lord. So I referenced earlier this idea that we go out to eat a lot nowadays. And you can go to a lot of good places, a lot of good food. And this is Jackson. I'm sure it's the same way in Columbia. I drove up and I saw y'all got a place got fried rabbit. I said, well, I'm going to stop and get that fried rabbit. But in our desire to get stuff quickly, we have damaged the quality of what we get. In order for us to get turnip greens and tomatoes out of season, we grow genetically modified food in California, put it on a truck, drive it about 20 or 30 or 40 hours from California to Columbia, stock it in the grocery store, and you know that you cut into that genetically modified tomato, and the tomato on the outside. But you cut it open, it's white and frosted looking, and it tastes like water. But then I go on to grandmama's house in Hazelhurst, and she says, it ain't the season for tomatoes, but when it is, let me pluck some from the garden. Get those fine, ripened tomatoes that she grew in her garden, and it's something that tastes better about the thing that took a little longer to get, a little longer to grow, but it tastes a lot better. Some of us in church, we are like that genetically modified tomato. We try to give folks some quick stuff and it's watered down. Ain't got no flavor to it. But let some of that stuff that God's placed on the inside of you slow cook. Let it take time. Let it grow up, because that's why Paul says to Timothy, preach the gospel, be instant in season and out of season. Watch this. And preach it with all patience. Because you won't know the fruit of your labor until you preach it long enough for it to grow up on its own time. You don't know what real greens taste like until Grandma plucked some greens that she grew from the garden. And she hand washed those things 5 times in Dawn soap and chopped them and plucked them off of the stems and put them in the slow cooker and let them slow cook those hog balls and crackbacks for about 3 to 4 hours. And then watch this, then she put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer, and she took them out of season. Because she took them in season, but put them away out of season. So all you gotta do out of season is reach into God's freezer. Pull out something He let cook them out 2 years ago. Pull it out, open it up, pull it out, and you got some good I'm preaching out of season. But the Lord gave us some slow-cooked meals in season. And he says, now that you're out of season, just go back and get what I gave you. Because, Pastor Bridge, I'm done when I say this, sometimes the leftovers taste a whole lot better than second time